In Skyrim, most settlements, even the smallest ones, carry a sense of presence. Riverwood feels like the first heartbeat of the main quest. Iverstead serves as a gateway to the Greybeards. Kyne's Grove, as we've seen, even manages a brush with Alduin himself. But then there's one place, a mining camp on the edge of nowhere, caught between the shadows of Eastmarch and the fog of the mountains. It has a handful of NPCs, a handful of beds, and a mine that doesn't even stand out compared to the dozens scattered across the game. It has a map marker, it has a name, it has some quests. And yet most players can wander all of Skyrim and never once think of it again. This is the story of the most forgotten village in all of Skyrim. You find Darkwater Crossing by chance, not design. It lies southeast of Windhelm, tucked against the Darkwater River near the treacherous swamps and the jagged terrain of Eastmarch. The road doesn't lead you there, no quest markers points the way. It's the kind of place you stumble into when you've lost your bearings, or when you're chasing something else entirely. The location itself makes the name resonant. The water runs dark, reflecting ashfall from the volcanic tundra. Mist drifts from the riverbanks, trees creak in the cold air. It doesn't actually feel like a place built for people. It feels like a place that resists them. And yet, a cluster of miners, families, and survivors carved out a camp here. Not a town, not even a village in the formal sense. Just a crossing, a pause between two worlds. A settlement you could walk through in less than a minute. What sets Darkwater Crossing apart from other Skyrim settlements is what it lacks. There are no guards, no walls, no inn, and no stores. In Whiterun, even farmers outside the walls feel the protection of Dragon's Reach. In Riften, the corruption at least provides a system of order. In Falkreath, a small hold, the Jarl's presence still looms. But here, nothing. Darkwater Crossing is fully exposed to bandits and the endless dangers of Skyrim's wilderness. The villagers live by the river with no defense, but their tools and determination and one Stormcloak soldier. A dragon attack could wipe them out in seconds. A group of marauders could do the exact same thing. And yet, no one comes to help. The civil war rages, Jarls debate policy, guilds make their moves. And Darkwater Crossing simply keeps mining. The heart of the settlement is Golden Rock Mine, a small ebony mine operated by the locals. Ebony, the prized ore of Skyrim, rare, expensive, essential for crafting some of the strongest armor and weapons in the game. And here it sits in a little riverside camp with no oversight, no guild presence, and no protection. The miners chip away day after day, but no large economic system seems to notice. No quests send you here to gather the ebony, no guild asks you to take control, no political faction stakes a claim. Golden Rock Mine should be valuable. Instead, it feels abandoned by the game itself. Even when you, the player, clear it of spiders, which is a small radiant quest, it doesn't grow or change. The villagers go back to mining, their lives return to quiet repetition. It is, in every sense, a loop without consequence. For such a small place, Darkwater Crossing has a surprising roster of NPCs. A Nord woman who longs for adventure beyond the mine, her husband dedicated to his work, their daughter, a Dunmer farmer and miner with fragments of backstory tied to Windhelm. Yet despite these names and faces, none of them rise beyond the background noise. Aneki is one of the few who stands out, offering radiant quests to clear bandit camps or caves. But even then, she feels underused. A woman yearning for freedom, stuck in a place that represents the opposite of it. The others, they speak, they mine, they live. But they don't really matter. They're not tied to guilds, they're not marriage candidates, not story essential. They are in many ways forgotten even as they stand before you. What makes Darkwater Crossing even more peculiar is its proximity to Skyrim's opening act. The river that runs beside the camp is the same Darkwater River that flows near Helgen, the very crossing where Ulfric's Stormcloak was captured before the game begins. This gives the place historical significance. It was the backdrop for the Empire's ambush of Ulfric, the site of betrayal, violence, and the spark of the Civil War's escalation. And yet, the villagers never mention it. No one talks about Ulfric, no one recalls the ambush, no one acknowledges that the history unfolded on their doorstep. Like so much else in Darkwater Crossing, the lore is there, but the game just looks away entirely. When you step back, Darkwater Crossing feels trapped. The mind sustains it, but it never expands. The villagers talk, but their lives never change. No one moves in and no one leaves. Even in a game where towns can fall under siege, jarls can be overthrown, and guilds can rise and fall, this one little settlement remains static. It doesn't grow, it doesn't collapse, it simply exists. And in a game built on choices, that stillness feels like erasure. Darkwater Crossing is more than just empty mechanics. It feels empty emotionally as well. The air is quiet, the river runs slow, the mind hums with the same sounds on repeat. NPCs go about their tasks in silence, there's no laughter, no festivals, no tavern songs drifting through the night. If you stay long enough, you realise the camp feels almost haunted. Not by ghosts, but by the weight of absence. Everywhere else in Skyrim feels like it has a pulse, even if it's faint. But Darkwater Crossing feels like it's already given up. When you compare Darkwater Crossing to other small villages, its emptiness stands out even more. Ivarstead leads to the Greybeards, Kynes Grove witnesses Alduin's resurrection, Dragon Bridge ties into both the Reach and a very well-known man. Riverwood serves as the first safe haven, even Karthwasten, another mining village, manages to tie into the Forsworn conflict. But Darkwater Crossing, it has none of this. It doesn't push a questline, it doesn't host a faction, doesn't even trigger major Radiant events. It is truly the most forgotten of them all. If there's one character who embodies the tragedy of Darkwater Crossing, it's Anarchy Cragjumper. She's adventurous, restless, dreaming of a life beyond the mine. She wants to see the world, to explore caves, to do more than just dig in the same veins of Ebony. She gives you quests, small attempts at reaching out into Skyrim's vastness. But no matter what happens, no matter how many bandit leaders you kill or caves you clear, she always returns to the same campfire, the same hut, and the same forgotten riverbank. She is a woman written for more, and a town built for less. And in that tension lies the heart of Darkwater Crossing's loneliness. Most players visit Darkwater Crossing once, maybe twice. They discover it during exploration, mine some ebony in Corundum, maybe take a quest from Aniki, and then they leave. There is never a reason to return. No guild leads back here, no storyline branches in this direction. It becomes a ghost town in memory, overshadowed by cities and towns that matter more. And yet, for those who remember it, the memory lingers in a strange way. Not because of what happened, but because of what didn't. It is unforgettable in its forgettability. What makes this place remarkable is not what it contains, but what it lacks. There's one guard, no future, no growth, no recognition of its own history. It is a village that exists purely as a set dressing, yet somehow manages to feel like more because of that emptiness. When you walk through, you don't remember the quests, you remember the silence. The feeling of a place left behind, not just by the world, but by the game itself. In a land of dragons, Daedric princes, and civil wars, it might seem strange to dwell on a tiny mining camp. But Darkwater Crossing matters precisely because it doesn't. It is a mirror of absence, proof that not every corner of Skyrim was filled, not every village was granted a purpose. And in that absence, it captures something haunting. The lives of people who exist without notice, without history, and without change. The people of Darkwater Crossing will keep mining, the river will keep flowing, the fog will keep drifting over the water, and most players will keep forgetting, because that is what Darkwater Crossing is, the most forgotten village in all of Skyrim.